Hi everyone, welcome to Passive Wealth Geeks. I'm so excited today to present one of my most favorite people in the whole world, and that will be with the Mr. Vinnie Chopra. He's here with us. He's the very successful real estate investor. He has more than 8,000 plus units in management and ownership, almost like $2 billion plus. He's a coach, mentor, motivational speaker, author of two successful books, both of which I've read. And he's still like 70 plus, still dabbling into many businesses. Every day something new, and he's always up and about and coming up with like new ideas and super active, super always focused on education, host of 4 podcasts. I mean, we can keep going on and on, but without further ado, I would love to welcome like Vinny. Thank you so much for coming in on the show, and we're so excited that you're here because you're going to get a wealth of knowledge from you.
Thank you, Ankur. I'm so privileged and humbled to be here with your audiences, and I hope I can bring great energy and excitement and mind shift and bring people to a new level in commercial real estate, because that's what my passion is, to move 1 million people across the globe. I tell my wife, if I don't get excited every day, if I don't do what I'm doing, I'm loving it. I'm not working a day. I don't need to do nothing in my life. We have so much money for 3 generations. But the thing is, you got to have purpose in life. You got to get up in the morning and feel good about who you are and pay the gratitude and pay homage, and everybody around you bring the energy and the excitement so that they become a better person.
Today I want to kind of start off with something like simple, and I really want to kind of dive into things which really get underlooked.
Yes.
Typically, how do you keep yourself like motivated? What's your kind of main motivational driver, and like how do you recommend people to go find their own fuel, if you will?
Sure. Ankur, I was not like I am today. I tell everybody, right? The key thing is you got to really uplift yourself wherever we are. And we got to say, what's the purpose of my life to be here in this world? Of course, in India, you grew up, I grew up, everybody wants you to be doctor or engineer. So that was something I didn't want to become doctor, so engineer. I went to Delhi College of Engineering, all that stuff. Then I came to USA with $7 in my pocket. I'm here. Then I said, you know what? I got to take charge of my life. I mean, nobody's going to give me money, right? So that's when I sold Bible books, encyclopedias, 13 hours a day. That turned my life around, brother. So to make long story short, you got to have purpose in this life. So why I'm excited, you ask me, right? I have a definite purpose. I'm into 26 different companies now. I have so many different partnerships. I have so much going on. But you know what? I'm still wanting more. My energy is so, I'm at 1.3 billion now portfolio. I will be at 1.9 billion in 1 year, and 2.3 billion, and then 4 billion and 6 billion in USA. A guy that came with $7 in his pockets. But what it is, your mindset. You set your mind between 6 inches, I say, between these 2 years. Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Wayne Dyer, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, they are my mentors. But what I've done is I've learned from them and implemented 1 or 2 things from their teaching in my life.
So I want to ponder over, I think you mentioned a little bit about the investing part of it and passive income and side hustle and all of that. I want to kind of go a little bit deeper now into the economy a little bit, right? A lot is happening in 2023. There's a lot of turbulence that are happening, but at the same time, there's optimism in the opportunity that is going to come up as part of this, which is probably a matter of time. What are your 2 cents on what those opportunities look like and where we are headed, and how to kind of spot them, if you will.
So what's happening right now is economic downturn, but different factors. The adjustments are happening in the bridge loans at this time. The fun I have is that year and a half I bought 107 units in Knoxville, Tennessee for $12 million. I just signed the listing agreement yesterday morning to sell at $18 million. In 1.5 years, my daughter, I give credit to Monica Chopra, my daughter, she's driven the rents 40%. We have increased the NOI so much that 12.5 million, my investors who brought in, now we're going to make $5.5 million profit in year and a half, brother. If anybody's listening to me today and listening to you, they need to really put their money in real estate right now in good deals, Not just put money for the heck of it. Look for foreclosures. 6 months back, I started talking to brokers. I locked in at 5.61 just 3 weeks back. So I locked in 10 years interest only loan at 5.61. It went from 9% down to 5.61. That's why I can sell that at 18 million now.
The precipice of the crash will create the opportunity is coming with a lot of debt, almost $2.4 trillion in debt. It's kind of related to your point that you're bringing up on people's payment getting doubled more. And so they have only one option probably to lower prices.
Yes.
Or somehow pay it off and give seller financing.
Totally. Seller financing, creative financing, assumable loans. That's what we need to look at. We need to have the cash ready, not just look at multifamily, but look at even residential assisted livings and multifamily assisted livings and conversion of suites, hotels into assisted livings.
Talk a little bit about assisted living. I don't think a lot of people know about it, but it's kind of like a place where seniors can live and essentially they got everything covered for them and they just have to pay one rent.
So in senior housing, it's 55 plus communities, it's resorts, then it comes assisted living and memory care, and then the fifth one on the right side is rehab centers and nursing homes and hospitals. So what I chose very purposely was the middle one, which is state regulated, not federally regulated. It's state licensed, assisted and memory care division. And we are building left and right, ground ups. My other partner, he's built 33 of them or so, and I'm building 6 of them with him. And now I'm converting hotels in Scottsdale, Arizona, converting because it took me 3 years to build one senior living. I want to do 2 billion construction transactions. So my mind says, engineering mind, really find a better solution. And the better solution is if I can convert, suites, hotels into 9 months it takes me or 12 months, get the permits and all that and convert them, change the ADA requirements and everything. Like in Scottsdale, I'm planning to open 10 of them over there.
I think they can see the value and they can see what the returns are, and it's
20% IRR, brother. 20% IRR.
Just to give some context to people, like T-bills, treasury bills, that is government debt, is at like 4%. 4%, right? And inflation is right now at like 5%.
5.67. I heard. It's not counting. So you're losing money.
20% is definitely kicking butt. So that is this is quite amazing. I want to poke a little bit on from the other side of the house, like especially for passive investors who are investing in your deal. Like what are they really focused in on cash flow, or they're kind of more focused in on park the money and I want to make sure I get my tax savings and then I don't need the actual income.
These are the investors who have so much money. They don't rely on cash flow. cash flow is ordinary income. And whatever 8% they'll get, 9 or 10%, they say, Vinnie, don't give me that. Don't give me. We got $2.6 billion hotels in the pipeline right now with my partners. And we are influxing, putting money into these projects. We are coming into with our partners who have been working on these hotels for the last 3 years.
What's your thought process on the hotels? Like what kind of things you target and why? And
Hotels are like mini apartments, multifamily, where I change the rate every night. So I collect good ADR, average daily rates, and they pay me at the counter to stay 1, 2, 3, 4. I love extended stays. So Craig, my brother, Umang, and Chico, and Dr. Sachin Maskey, who was my student, personal coaching student, he's 20%, and I'm 20%. Everybody's equal partner. And it's 100 million. We have raised 20 million already. And we got so many other projects. So the developers, the builders are partners with us. So that's the beauty of it. Best thing is to find best locations. The one I'm building right now with my partners is in Kissimmee, Florida, in Celebration. It's an extended stay. The families come. They're spending $150 a day on the tickets to take their children to Disney World and everything. If they are eating outside and living in other hotels, they don't have the budgets. So we are putting shovel in the ground to build this 131 room where people will pay us $700 a night. We took $145 and we are cash flowing like crazy.
I mean, just to kind of give context to people, especially who would buy, like, let's say single family and put it up for Airbnb, you're giving like 30%, 20% or 30%, I would say, roughly, just to a company to manage it as an Airbnb and give you whatever like rent you get, like the cut of that, you'll get the remaining. So compared to that, you have your staff that you've hired and you have like a management company that you kind of do
within house. And we'll pay from the LLC to our management company 3%. Why not? I mean, then when I ran my own deals, right, in multifamily, we were making $775,000 in my management company alone. Even though I had my own assets, I'll sign a agreement with my other company, Monil Management Group. Monil Investment Group bought the properties. That I'm CEO of this and I'm CEO of this one. So I was signing a contract, property management contract between the two, as a seller, as an owner, and as an operator.
So this is exciting. So I want to put in one more lever, because we kind of also switch back to multifamily and all that. One big lever in multifamily, especially when we are underwriting and especially when we are looking at deals, is cap rate. And so a lot of conversation has come up lately is, how do you think about cap rates? Or there's one school of thought like, you know what, forget about it, because don't know where it's going to go. You can't control it. And the second school of thought is work with, think about the worst case scenario, or like, and that it is probably going to go up or, whatever, going down, depending on like how you're thinking about the outlook, future outlook. So what's your kind of philosophy on that, and how do you look at that?
Very simple philosophy, brother. Very simple. Everybody listening and watching me, I always have said that you could go back 7 years back, 10 years back, that you never take cap rate to the bank. Cap rate is not dollars. Cash flow is dollars. The thing is, you got to buy on the cash flow. Mm-hmm. You're going to give cash flow to the investors. You're not going to give them cap rates in a silver platter. That's my philosophy. And
I know we will look at a lot of emerging markets within United States and all these things. I know sometime you had talked about emerging markets outside the US as well, like markets in India and all those places. Have you been, I don't know if you're maybe like happy to talk about that right now, or have you considered and thought on?
Love to, brother. I have looked into, Belize. A lot of people have brought Nicaragua, some properties to me, some in India. We even put some money my wife and I, for buying some villas over there. We lost money. The builders went bankrupt. They are in jail. I mean, all that crap happening, right? My wife and I gave 2.5 million to save our project going into foreclosure. My investors cried when I told them, because I got a $8.5 million recourse loan on my name. And I gave 2.5 million of my own money, cash, to throw it at the face of Fannie Mae, because they said, Vinnie, we need you to improve this property in Austell, Georgia, 267 units. I bought it for $10 million, 100. I sold it for 15.4 million, brother, in a year and a half.
That is so incredible. Now, so we talked about, we guys talked about multifamily, obviously. We talked about senior assisted living and memory care, which is also hot. And
Yes,
hotels.
very hot.
Hotels, it was more like look at the right place, and then you can invest in the right place, and then that would give you the high occupancy.
Location for everything we buy, brother. Everything.
A lot of people kind of think about this thing, and they're like, a lot of people talk about investment, and hey, this is a good investment. Oh, hey, where should I put my money? Should I put in gold or this or that? And everybody has a different philosophy, and there is a little bit of element of emotion also involved in there for a lot of people. And so what is your secret sauce? Like, if keep multifamily and real estate aside, if it's any other business, like somebody's coming to kind of sell to you, what's your philosophy when you're buying it? What can people kind of learn from that?
I would tell everybody, don't get stuck in your one single thing about gold. The thing is, you got to diversify. You got to make money with your money. If it's dead money in your home, get that money out.
Back to the kind of point on like what makes a kind of good investment. I know it's very loaded question, generic, but what makes a good investment? I'm guessing I'm catching up the bites. Like, okay, good passive cash flow, I guess.
Yes.
I think that you can probably operationalize really well and get off.
Yeah. A lot of people say, let me buy it. I'm going to get the cash flow. Let me keep it for 15 years. I said, that's a wrong philosophy, because not every property is going to go from here to here in 15 years. It's a market cycle. So properties values go up, then the market cycle, which is happening after 13 years bull, it's the downturn coming, right? So I believe to just sell it before the peak and then take that money from here, take it to the next place. Another emerging market, you put that money over here, grow it again for 5 years, and then sell it. Now in 3 cycles, in 15 years, you would make so much money for your investors. That has been my philosophy.
It's that cascading effect. So that makes sense.
Brother, cascading effect.
I'm so honored that you were able to make it. And thank you so much for taking the time. Really happy to have you here, and all the words of wisdom. Thank you again. All right, Vinnie. Thank you. Take care.